Hello again, everyone. It is the same night. I am still wearing the same shirt. It's probably 2 a.m. and I probably shouldn't be filming so loud, but I am. We're just gonna get over it. We're just gonna get past it because I want to have lots of videos to post for you guys during the month of October. So today we're going to be filming my September book haul. Now, if you guys remember from August, I said I was going on a book buying ban. That didn't quite work out for this month. I bought probably more books than I bought in August. I know, I'm hopeless. So I'm trying to kind of cut back this next month, really read the books I own or books from the library. I just need to stop buying books. And it's so hard because all the ones I've purchased this month, almost all of them were like $1 to $2. And most of those I have not read. And they're not books I know that I will love, but I'm like, for $1 to $2, how can you go wrong? I'm just gonna get all of them. But I need to stop because I just have no space and no money in my bank account. So I really am gonna try to pull back the buying of the books so that I can actually get through my books that I own, need to read. I have so many, and this just has to stop. But until then, I will be doing these massive book hauls for you. So at least we get something out of it. So anyways, without further ado, we're going to get started with the books because there's a lot of them. They're stacked really high on my floor, so I'm just going to go with whatever is on top. And I might give you a synopsis. I might not know anything about it, so we'll see what happens. Book number 1. The Black Prism by Brent Weeks. This has been floating around over at Reagan's channel at Peruse-topia. Not Peruse-topia, that's the book club. Peruse Project. And also over on Amber's channel at Amber Eats Books. And this one is just on my recommends list. I cannot wait to read it. It is massive. It is monstrous. But I got this. Get this. It's a $16 book new. I got this for $2 at my local half price books. I could not pass it up. I was like, this is literally on my highest up. I need to read this list. I can't wait to get to it. I probably won't get to it during the month of October, but this is way up there and I couldn't believe I got it for $2. So I'm so excited to pick this up, so excited to read this. And usually I'm more of a hardcover person, but for $2, I mean, it's a nice big trade paperback. I am happy. These next 2 books are actually from a series from my childhood, and I couldn't pass them up because they were both $2 a piece, and I couldn't pass them up. So they are part of a Christian children's series called the Elsie Dinsmore A Life of Faith series, and they were just really impactful for me as a child. Just a lot of things go down in this series. It kind of follows her from age 8 to her 30s, and then I think there's a separate series that follows her children or cousin or something else, but I didn't read that one. I read this one, but I couldn't pass these up. They were just so impactful to me, and I almost forgot about them. When I saw them, I almost cried. So anyways, these are the Elsie Dinsmore Life of Faith books, and this is book 2 and 3. Like I said, they kind of follow her from a really young age and then kind of follow her growing up, and they're lovely, gorgeous hardcovers. I don't think they came in any other version, but I couldn't pass up having these. Like I said, when you read a book at the right time, it just impacts you in this perfect way. And I don't even remember what each of these books themselves were about, but I just remember loving them. So I probably will eventually reread them once I collect more of them, but this was just a huge series for me when I was a kid. So next, I picked up another copy of Emma by Jane Austen. I do have one copy from Barnes & Noble of Emma, but I could not pass up this cover. This is a lovely paperback cover and just this lovely kind of wallpapery pattern with the little cameo silhouettes here and the little heart. It's just so pretty. So I just was really excited to find this at Half Price Books, and it is just gorgeous. And this one I did splurge a little bit. I spent $5 on it. $5, guys. So good. Next, I picked up a copy of Aquamarine by Alice Hoffman. A nice, lovely little hardcover here. And this one has been made into a movie. It's a mermaid book. I'm a sucker for mermaid books. I love mermaids. And I have read Aquamarine before, and I really enjoyed it. It's a beautiful friendship story. And mermaids, guys. Mermaids. So, lovely. And I think it was $2. So, yay! Next, I have an older book that I read when I was probably in the 4th or 5th grade, and that is A Ring of Endless Light by Madeleine L'Engle. She wrote the Wrinkle in Time series, which is an amazing sci-fi series. If you have not read A Wrinkle in Time, go read it. It's so good. But anyways, this is such a good book. This one follows a girl who kind of goes to spend summer with her grandfather, ends up working with dolphins, and she can actually hear the dolphins' thoughts telepathically. So there was actually a Disney Channel movie made off of this book, but the book is amazing. It's really, really good. So I highly recommend this book, and I was so excited to find it for $1. It is a mass market paperback, but this is the exact same cover that I read it the first time I read it, so I was kind of nostalgic when I bought it. Next, I found a lovely hardcover of Meg Cabot's Pants on Fire, and this one is going to be added to my lovely Meg Cabot collection. If you can't tell, I have a weird obsession with Meg Cabot. Like, all of these books are Meg Cabot. She wrote the Princess Diaries series, which is right here. And so this one I have read. I loved this one. I can't even remember what the story was. I just remember liking it a lot. And I love her books, and I couldn't pass it up in hardcover for $2. Love Meg Cabot. She writes everything too. It's like she has some sci-fi, she has like Victorian romances, she has like a mystery, she has adult books. I mean, I just love it. She even has a vampire series. I mean, she's just great. So I love Meg Cabot, and I can't wait to add this to my lovely Meg Cabot collection. I have to make more room in that shelf. So next, with all of my Pride and Prejudice books that I have, I could not pass this up for $1, and that is Mr. Darcy Takes a Wife. Yes, I know it looks a little steamy on the front. So this is supposed to be kind of a sequel to Pride and Prejudice, and I actually read the beginning of this book a really long time ago because I had borrowed it from a friend. Actually, I don't even think I fully borrowed it. I was like at her house, and I read the first couple of chapters, but then I had to leave, and she was still reading it, so I couldn't take it with me. And so when I saw it, I was like, oh my gosh, it was that book. And I'm just kind of interested because it kind of says on the back she's talking about, like, Jane Austen wrote what she knew. She wrote before marriage, and so this is kind of like what happens during Mr. Darcy and Elizabeth's marriage. So I'm excited to read it and see what I think. It's always, you know, risky when you start putting sequels on books that are so classic, but I'm not expecting the world. I just want to see more of them together, which is probably why Linda Burdell wrote it. So next, I purchased a manga, and that is the 9th volume in the W. Juliet series by Imura. I don't think there's a first name. It's just Imura. Maybe that's just a pen name. This is a series I started back in high school, and I adored. I can't tell you anything because there's a beginning part of the very first book, and if I say anything about what this book is about, it will spoil it. So I can't spoil it for you. But basically, some keywords for you: theater, acting, family drama. So I already own all the other books. So the reason I purchased this one is that it was the last one I did not own. So I really want to be able to like binge read the rest of the series so I can find out what happens. Next is a book that I am dying to finally start the series because a book just came out for this series and I can't pick it up and everyone's talking about it, but I haven't read the first book. Don't even know anything about the story, except for that it's an assassin retelling of Cinderella, and that is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. And I'm so excited. I found this one at my local Half Price Books. They never have them. They only have like the brand new ones, and they don't ever have Throne of Glass. So I was so excited that they had this one. I can't wait to read it. I probably won't get to it during the month of October, but it is so up there on my TBR because I want to be able to binge read through the series and get the next one. So I want to kind of get on top of this one and read it before the series is over. You all know this book, so I don't know why I'm telling you so much about it. The next book is The Reluctant Heiress by Eva Ibbotson, and this one is not in a series, but it's kind of like a set of books that she has written that are kind of historical fiction, and I read The Countess Below Stairs, and I loved it. I really enjoyed it, and this one here is The Reluctant Heiress, and this is about an opera singer in 1920s Austria. Well, if you guys don't already know, I went to school for music. I went to school for singing specifically, so I was a vocal performance major, so I'm super excited to read more about stuff I love, and I love her writing. I would highly recommend this if you want anything YA that's not like contemporary, but it is still like romance, and it's really sweet. I am so excited to read this. These next two books were also from a series that I had watched / read when I was younger, and that is the Witch series. And this one is books 1 and 3 of that series, and they're half like chapter book, half graphic novel. There's like a graphic novel in the back. And this was a series on, I think it was Disney Channel. It might have been Nickelodeon or Cartoon Network, but I'm pretty sure it was Disney Channel. And it's about these 5 girls that get like elemental powers to protect our world from these creatures that are crossing through what they call the veil, and it is so cool. Next is a book I have not yet read, and that is Goose Girl by Shannon Hale, and I do like Shannon Hale's writing, and I can't wait to pick this up, but I don't really know anything about it. I know it's a fairy tale retelling because that's usually what she does, but I have no idea other than that. Next, I have Pegasus, The Flame of Olympus. This is the first book by Kate O'Hearn in a whole series of Pegasus, like Greek mythology type books. But other than that, I know nothing about it. All I know is that I've seen these all over the place, and I'm like, oh, I really think this would look good, and I love Pegasus, and I can't wait to maybe check this out someday. So when this was $1 at my half price books, I couldn't pass it up. I will eventually read this. I love middle grade fantasy type books, so I can't wait to get into it and see what it's about. Next, I did pick up a copy of A Torch Against the Night by Sabaa Tahir, and it is a signed copy. There it is in that lovely blue ink, which matches the lovely blue cover. So if you saw my wrap-up video, I did read An Ember in the Ashes during the month of September, and so I couldn't resist picking this one up at my half-price books. It wasn't super on sale. It was only 20% off, but it was, instead of $20, it was $15, so I was super excited to pick it up, a signed copy for $15, and I can't wait to read it. I loved An Ember in the Ashes so much. I highly recommend reading it if you haven't read it already, and I plan on posting a full review of An Ember in the Ashes for you sometime during the month of October, so when I do, I'll go ahead and link that in this video as well, so you can check it out. These next 2 books are also in a series, and that is Inkheart and Ink Death. So this is the first and third book in the Inkheart series by Cornelia Funk. I have read Inkheart. I own Ink Spell, but in paperback, but these were 2 hardcovers, and they were $2 a piece. I could not believe that. They're so hefty and gorgeous. Look at that, like, lovely gold inlay on these. So I can't wait to read these. Inkheart, if you don't know, follows a girl whose father has the ability to read characters out of books if he reads aloud, but a character or object from our world has to go into the book in order to get characters out of the book. And they made a terrible movie of it, so don't watch the movie. Just read the book. It's really good. And then I can't wait to read Ink Spell and Ink Death, but I'll probably have to reread Inkheart again because it's been like since, I don't know, when I was in the 6th grade or something that I read this. So I'm super excited to complete this series on my shelf as well as in my head. Next, I picked up the final book in the Dune series. This is Forever Dune by Carrie Corp and Lori Langdon, and I love the Dune series. If you haven't read it, it is a dual perspective book following 2 best friends that accidentally end up in the mythical kingdom of Dune. This is kind of a retelling of the musical Brigadoon, and it is so awesome. It is so good. The mythical world is beautiful. It's got that Scottish vibe because it's set in Scotland, and then it's set in like Dune, which is kind of a medieval Scotland, but not fully because there are people who have been crossing over the bridge for a lot of years. And so they bring things like pizza and indoor plumbing and all of that. So it's really awesome and I love it. So this is the last book in that series. It came out during the month of September and I cannot wait to finish it and find out what happens. The last book ended on a bit of a cliffhanger. So I'm so excited to read it and it's so shiny. Also, take a look at this gorgeous cover. So we have one of the characters. This is Veronica, and the other one is McKenna, and you can see her on the back. It is just so precious beautiful. Look at that. Oh, that art's gorgeous. So I cannot wait to finish this and see if we get to save the Kingdom of Dune. And last, but certainly not least, I got this lovely collector's edition of Fangirl by Rainbow Rowell. There is some lovely fan art in here. I don't know if you can see. There we go. So I do not know any of these characters yet, but I'm super excited to. But is lovely fan art there. And I don't think there's any in the back. Oh, there is. Oh, I never even looked at the back pictures. Yay! Fan art. And then there's this lovely little blue ribbon bookmark. So I'm super excited to read this. I will probably get to this in October. So I almost forgot one more book, and that is my Owl Crate pick for this month, and that is The Three Dark Crowns by Kendara Blake. I cannot wait to read this. It's going to go on my giant shelf of books I haven't read yet from Owl Crate, because it's all full of books that I haven't read. I haven't read a single one of Owl Crate's books this year. I can't wait to read them. Eventually, I will get to all of them. I really will. I promise. Maybe I'll do like a readathon of Owl Crate books. I'll try that. Maybe I'll do that. That sounds like a really good plan. That is it, finally, for my book haul for the month of September. Next month, I promise my book haul will be a lot smaller. If you guys have read any of these books or have any suggestions for me based on the books I've picked up or which one I should read next, let me know down in the comments below. If you want to be notified when my next video is up, go ahead and click subscribe. And if you like this video, give it a big thumbs up. Please comment down below. I'd love to talk to you down in the comments, and I will see you all next time with another video real soon. Bye-bye!